10 Psychological Facts About Older Women That You Didn't Know. Modern Stoic. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Unknown. Welcome back today. We're diving into 10 psychological insights about older women that will completely shift your perspective on relationships and attraction. These are the kind of secrets that 97% of men don't know, and it's exactly why they often miss out or face rejection. But here's your chance to be in the top 5%, those who truly understand what makes women tick. And ladies, this isn't just about the guys. Knowing these truths about yourselves can make you even more captivating and magnetic. Ready for a shift in how you view love, life, and the dynamic between the sexes? Let's get started. 1. Women fall in love because of smell. If you're not paying attention to your scent, you're missing out on one of the most primal, yet often overlooked ways to grab a woman's attention. It's not about dousing yourself in the latest trendy cologne or getting caught up in the endless cycle of grooming products. This is about something far more fundamental. Women are biologically wired to react to scent in ways you might not even begin to understand. This isn't some overly romanticized notion spouted by perfume commercials. No. This is science. A study from the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro uncovered something truly striking. If a woman enjoys the scent of a man, her attraction to him can skyrocket by up to 85.5%. That's not a trivial detail. That's a major biological shift in her attraction. What's even more fascinating, women have 50% more neurons in their olfactory bulb, the part of the brain responsible for processing smells, than men. This means her sense of smell is vastly more sophisticated than yours. She's picking up on nuances that you might completely miss. It's not just about how you smell after a shower or whether you wear cologne. Her nose is attuned to everything. She's detecting pheromones, stress levels, testosterone, and even your emotional state, all without even realizing it. Don't take this lightly. This is not some small, insignificant detail. It's biology at work, and it's powerful. Think about it. Women don't just notice whether you smell good or bad. They unconsciously assess your health, your emotional stability, your stress levels, and even your masculinity through scent. The blessing of Stoicism lies in understanding the power of these small, seemingly insignificant signals. A modern Stoic knows that it's not just grand gestures or dramatic displays of strength that create an impact. It's the subtle details. Understanding the cues that nature gives us, like scent, allows us to communicate more effectively without saying a word. Women can pick up on these cues, and as a modern Stoic, you must recognize their importance. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that by paying attention to the simple, often overlooked things, we can find meaning and connection in the most unexpected places. So if you're trying to make an impression, don't underestimate the power of your scent. Whether you realize it or not, it speaks volumes. It tells her about your emotions, your health, and your strength. The next time you leave the house, remember this. Your scent is sending out signals you might not even be aware of, but she is. Don't ignore this crucial part of human interaction. Take the time to smell good and make sure that your scent conveys strength, stability, and confidence. A modern Stoic embraces the full range of human communication, and scent is one of the most powerful, primal forms of it. Don't let it go unnoticed, because it can have a much deeper impact than you realize. 2. Women prefer men who have their own way. Let's be clear, women, especially older ones, aren't looking for a man who constantly bends to their will, who's always waiting for them to make the decisions. If you think that being a yes man is the way to win her over, think again. It's not attractive. It never was. Older women have been around the block, and they've seen that type before. They've dated him, grown bored of him, and moved on. They crave something more. They want a man with direction, a man with his own way, his own path, and his own rhythm. That's what truly captures their attention and keeps it. It's not about being stubborn or rigid. It's about being unapologetically yourself. A man who has his own way is confident, not because he's trying to impress her, but because he's already sure of who he is. When a man doesn't wait for permission to be who he is, that's when he becomes magnetic. It's that quiet self-assurance that draws women in, especially those who are self-aware, mature, and experienced. They can spot a man who knows his own worth from a mile away. In the world of Stoicism, there's a powerful lesson here. The Stoic life isn't about yielding to every whim or being tossed around by the winds of others' desires. It's about knowing your own values, your own purpose, and standing firm in them. Stoicism teaches us to be unwavering in the face of external pressures. The same applies to relationships. Don't fall into the trap of being someone you're not just to please her. Instead, be the man who follows his own principles and is confident in the life he's built. This is one of the greatest Stoic lessons. You must remain true to yourself, regardless of external opinions or desires. Older women don't want to manage a man. They want to respect him. They want someone who is clear, purposeful, and decisive. Someone who doesn't look to her for validation or direction, but who can hold his own and take charge when necessary. There's a difference between being flexible and being a doormat. Flexibility is about knowing when to bend without losing your core values. A doormat, on the other hand, is someone who has no values to stand on. And that's what older women, especially the self-aware, experienced ones, don't have time for. Be a man who knows his own mind. Be someone who's actively living out his own path. And when you do that, you'll stop asking for permission to live your life. That's what attracts the women who are truly worth your time. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that being agreeable or malleable is the key to her heart. It's not. The key is having your own way, being secure in your own identity, and letting that confidence show. Incorporating the Stoic lessons into your life can be a game changer. The Stoic life isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about remaining true to your beliefs and your purpose. Women, especially older women, will respect that far more than any pretzel-like attempts to bend yourself into something you're not. Be yourself, and be unapologetic about it. That's what will attract the right woman, the one who values you for who you are, not what you're willing to sacrifice just to keep her happy. If you're ready to embrace your own path and stop seeking permission to be who you are, drop a comment right now. I am the man who leads with purpose. Like this video. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, and remember, a man who knows his way commands respect. 3. Women often feel something but won't say it. When it comes to understanding older women, one of the biggest mistakes men make is assuming that silence means indifference. You see, many men expect women to be open books, eager to express every emotion as it arises. But this is not the case, especially with older, more mature women. The biggest error you can make is thinking that if she isn't talking about her feelings, she's not feeling anything at all. Silence does not signify apathy. In fact, often, the more deeply she feels, the quieter she becomes. This is not a flaw. It's a refined practice developed over years of experience, emotional growth, and self-awareness. These women have learned to control their emotional expressions because, over time, they've realized that not every feeling needs to be spoken out loud. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This wisdom can be applied to relationships, especially when interacting with women who have reached a certain level of maturity. They do not need to voice every feeling or share every thought. They possess the strength to carry their emotions with dignity and self-control. This doesn't mean she isn't feeling anything. It means she's learned to manage her emotions with poise. As Stoic principles teach, to understand her, you must approach her with patience and awareness. Don't make the mistake of assuming that because she's quiet, she's unaffected. Her silence is not a void, but a complex expression of internal strength. You must be able to read between the lines. The older woman has learned to maintain control over her emotional expression, but she has not lost her ability to feel deeply. You must understand that her silence is often more profound than any words could convey. This is where modern Stoicism can guide you. Pay attention to her body language, her subtle changes in expression, and the quiet nuances that tell you more than any words could. You must become perceptive, seeing beneath the surface, because there is a lot happening beneath that calm exterior. Older women have faced many life challenges which have shaped them into the strong, composed individuals they are today. They've learned the art of emotional restraint and how to harness the power of silence. But silence is not the absence of emotion. It is often the result of immense emotional depth. You must understand this. This is why it is crucial for you to develop emotional intelligence. Don't look for every feeling to be explicitly voiced. Don't expect her to share every detail. Instead, observe, listen, and watch her actions. Embrace the Stoic wisdom that guides us to understand the world as it is, not as we want it to be. Silence is an integral part of the human experience. And in relationships, it can be a window into a deeper understanding of each other. Let's be clear, this is not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about recognizing that a woman's silence can be just as meaningful, if not more so, than her words. Her silence doesn't mean she doesn't care. It often means she cares deeply and is choosing to internalize her emotions for a reason. She has learned to be in control, not just of her words, but of her mind. The Stoic principle of mastering oneself becomes apparent here. She has mastered the art of not reacting impulsively to every emotion, and instead, she processes them calmly, internally. She knows her power lies in her ability to control her response to the world around her. And this should be an opportunity for you to reflect on your own emotional control. In modern life, we live in a world where immediate reactions are often expected. We've been conditioned to want instant feedback. But the real strength lies in stillness and self-restraint. As Marcus Aurelius also said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This means that your response to her silence should not be one of frustration or impatience, but of understanding. You must learn the power of stillness, of allowing her to be who she is, and responding to her in a way that shows you understand and respect the depth of her emotions. You must embrace the challenge of being present in the moment, without rushing for words, and learn that silence can be a profound communication in itself. To navigate relationships with older women, you must embody the Stoic principles of patience, awareness, and self-control. You must be perceptive, look beyond the surface, and understand that not every emotion needs to be spoken. Silence is not the absence of feeling. It's often a deliberate, powerful expression of inner strength and understanding. So don't make the mistake of assuming silence means nothing. Silence often means everything. You must become attuned to it, observe it, respect it, and most importantly, recognize that a woman's silence can reveal far more about her than her words ever could. 4. Women are attracted to men who are pre-selected. Let's get straight to the point. Older women know what they want, and they've been around long enough to spot a real catch. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Women are attracted to men who are pre-selected. Don't roll your eyes, this isn't some theory. It's straight-up psychology. Picture this: a man walks into a room full of strangers. No one notices. Now, picture a second man entering the same room. But this time, he's flanked by 2 women laughing, touching his shoulder, and clearly enjoying his company. Suddenly, everyone's head turns. What happened here? That's not by chance. That's the power of pre-selection. It's one of the most potent subconscious triggers when it comes to female attraction, especially for older women. Why? Because older women, and who are often more emotionally attuned and socially savvy, recognize this instantly. Pre-selection is simple when a woman sees you surrounded by other women who are clearly into you. She assumes you're already approved. You're the kind of man they're interested in. This isn't something you can fake or manipulate. It's not a game. It's an aura you carry because of your experiences. Then pre-selection doesn't rely on flashy moves or tricks. It's about living your life in a way that others naturally gravitate towards you. And let's be clear, women, especially older ones, aren't fooled by the facade. They see through the surface and can tell when something is real. This is where the blessing of Stoicism comes in. The old Stoic approach, staying calm, confident, and content with who you are, attracts attention in a way that nothing else does. You must embody this. You can't fake it. So, remember, next time you walk into a room, don't be that guy who's desperately trying to get noticed. Be the man who's already had the approval of others, who doesn't need to prove anything. That's the essence of pre-selection, and that's what makes older women take notice. If you've made it this far, you're already understanding a powerful truth. Women, especially older women, are drawn to men who have already earned the approval of others. It's not about tricks or faking it. It's about living with confidence and authenticity. You must become the man who's already pre-selected, someone who doesn't need to prove his worth. Now, let me ask you this. Are you ready to step into that role and embody true attraction? Comment below, I am the man who's already approved, if you're ready to embrace this powerful truth and take action. 5. If she teases you, she's interested. Let's clear something up once and for all. If she teases you, she's not rejecting you. She's interested. This is a critical lesson, one that can save you from unnecessary confusion. Older women, in particular, tend to be much more subtle and strategic in how they express their attraction. Their emotional intelligence has been honed over years of life experiences, and they know exactly how to let you know they're intrigued without laying it all out on the table. When she throws a playful jab at your shirt, mocks your choice of music, or lightly dismisses your attempt at humor with a grin, don't take it to heart. This isn't an attack on you, it's an invitation. Yes, you heard that right. Teasing, especially from older women, is often the very first step in the flirtation process. It's not a direct compliment, nor is it a confession of feelings. It's a playful challenge, a little game to see how you respond. Now you might be tempted to think, she doesn't like me. He doesn't. But that's where you're wrong. You must understand that teasing is part of the Stoic life of older women. It's a way to gauge your confidence, to test how well you handle a little playful pushback. These women don't want you to fold under pressure. They want to see if you can roll with the punches, laugh it off, and show that you can take a joke. They're not looking for someone who is easily offended or overly serious about small things. They want to know that you can stand tall in the face of teasing, that you can keep your cool. Think of it as a Stoic lesson in action. They're teaching you how to remain unshaken by little distractions and challenges. If you show that you can maintain your composure rather than letting a teasing remark knock you off balance, you'll be much more attractive to her. Remember, the Stoic life is all about controlling your reactions and not letting external circumstances dictate your mood or confidence. You must be steady, unwavering in your self-assurance, and able to laugh at yourself. When you do this, you'll naturally rise above the noise and intrigue her even more. That is how you show you're worth her time and attention. So, the next time she teases you, don't react with defensiveness or frustration. Embrace it, smile, play along. This is her way of saying, "I'm interested. Show me what you're made of." The more you understand this, the more you'll see how Stoicism plays into the dance of attraction. It's not about power games or grand gestures. It's about being calm, collected, and emotionally strong in the face of whatever comes your way. If you can embody this, you'll be unstoppable. So, don't shy away from the teasing. Step into it, rise above it, and see where it leads you. 6. Women prefer men who understand their unspoken language. In the world of relationships, especially when it comes to older women, understanding the unspoken is a skill every man must master. The truth is, most men miss it. Women, particularly those with a rich history of life experience, do not communicate in a straightforward verbal way. They speak in subtleties. Their emotions aren't spelled out, they're implied. One simple sentence can carry a deeper meaning. One look can speak volumes more than an entire conversation. They change their tone, their body language shifts, and a simple pause can convey more than you could ever articulate in words. Older women, who have lived through layers of emotional complexity, communicate in layers. They expect you to pick up on these cues. If you're only listening to the words, you're only grasping half of the conversation. The man who can see beyond the surface, who can interpret these silent messages, becomes the man who stands apart. The power lies in paying attention to the subtle shifts, the fleeting glances, the pauses, the unspoken thoughts. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This principle applies to relationships too. If you can learn to decode the silence, you'll unlock a deeper connection. Don't merely listen to her words, listen to her silence. Understand the quiet. Look beyond the obvious. Master this skill and you'll immediately rise above the rest. This is not just about being a good listener. It's about mastering the art of attention and perception. As a Stoic, you must train yourself to observe without judgment, to accept what's unsaid as much as what is said, and to adapt your responses accordingly. Just like the Stoic principles that guide us to control our reactions and live in accordance with nature. Understanding a woman's unspoken language requires patience, awareness, and emotional intelligence. If you approach relationships with a Stoic mindset, focused on self-discipline and mastery of your emotions, you will connect with her in a way most men never will. So don't miss it. Be present, be aware, and listen beyond the words. If you found this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I am an attentive and perceptive man who understands the unspoken. 7. Women are particularly concerned with their appearance during intimacy. Let's talk about something many men often miss. When it comes to intimacy, especially with older women, there's more happening than just chemistry or emotional connection. Many women, particularly those who've lived a few decades, are deeply aware of how they look in intimate settings. This is not about vanity or superficiality. It's about something much more profound, a human vulnerability that comes with age. You see, she might be experiencing attraction, desire, even love. And yet, while all of this is happening, her mind could be preoccupied with thoughts like, do I look good in this light? Is he noticing that wrinkle or the stretch marks on my skin? How does my body look from this angle? Am I too much or not enough? These aren't shallow thoughts. They're reflections of her biology, the natural effects of aging, and the quiet insecurities that can rise to the surface despite her vast emotional and psychological maturity. It's critical to understand that this isn't about an obsession with outward appearances. It's about something more fundamental. Older women, even those who've embraced the wisdom that comes with age and the blessings of Stoicism, still have moments of vulnerability. Modern Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept life as it is, to be at peace with our imperfections, and to cultivate inner strength. Yet, this peace doesn't mean that she no longer feels self-conscious about her changing body. In fact, it's the depth of that peace that allows her to recognize, confront, and sometimes even challenge those little insecurities. It's the paradox of being both confident in who she is, yet still human enough to feel uncertain about her appearance in moments of intimacy. Now, you might think that as a partner, you don't need to worry about her self-image during intimacy, but that assumption could be a mistake. You must understand that your actions, your attention, and your words matter greatly. Don't overlook the small things, like how you look at her, the way you compliment her, the tone you use when speaking to her. These are the subtle but powerful cues that can make her feel desired and valued, far beyond her appearance. If you show her that you see the beauty in her not only through the physical lens but also through the emotional and spiritual connection you share, you're giving her a gift far more precious than any fleeting compliment. This is a woman who may have spent years learning to embrace the changes that come with aging. And as the old Stoic wisdom suggests, she has found peace in accepting what is. Yet in moments of intimacy, those fleeting moments of insecurity can still arise. And that's where you come in. Your reassurance, your affection, and your understanding can be the anchor that keeps her grounded in the present, reminding her that she's not just loved for what she looks like, but for the richness she brings to the relationship as a whole. You must understand that intimacy is about more than just the physical connection. It's about the mental, emotional, and even spiritual layers that come together in those moments. And for an older woman, feeling accepted and beautiful, even with her perceived flaws, can make all the difference in how she experiences intimacy. She's not just looking for a partner to love her physically. She's looking for someone who sees beyond the surface. She wants someone who can give her the space to feel safe enough to let go of those insecurities, even if only for a moment. It's about acknowledging her as a whole person, understanding that her mind, her heart, and her soul are just as important as her physical form. When you do this, you allow her to embrace her own beauty, not in the perfect airbrushed way society often demands, but in the real, raw, and honest way that comes with age and experience. And that, my friend, is the true essence of intimacy. So, don't be the one who overlooks her vulnerabilities. Be the partner who sees her for all that she is and reminds her every day that her true beauty lies in her authenticity and depth. The old Stoic teachings remind us to love ourselves as we are, And that wisdom is something she holds dear. Embrace it, understand it, and show her that she doesn't have to be anything other than exactly who she is. Because to you, she is perfect just as she is. 8. Emotional connection enhances physical pleasure. Let's get straight to the point. You want to know what turns a forgettable experience into something unforgettable. It's not about your moves or the perfect technique. It's about connection, a real deep emotional connection. That's what makes the difference. Forget the fluff. When it comes to older women, the truth is simple. The spark you feel isn't purely physical. It's the energy between you two. How you make her feel in that moment, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually, determines the depth of the experience. Most men, however, are so focused on the act itself, they forget about the atmosphere that surrounds it. They think the magic happens just because of physical attraction. But that's only part of the equation. Don't be that guy who thinks it's all about getting the moves right. No. The real pleasure comes from the space you create between you and her. That energy, that vibe, it can't be faked. You must understand the true intimacy. The kind that stays in her mind and heart comes from a deeper connection. This is something older women, especially those who have lived long enough to understand the lessons of Stoicism, appreciate. They're not just looking for physical attraction. They crave a deeper, more meaningful connection, one where you see them beyond just their appearance. What's important here is the emotional exchange. When you see, physical pleasure is enhanced when there's trust, when there's vulnerability, and when you're both fully present in the moment. Older women, particularly those who live a Stoic life, have learned the importance of emotional depth. They understand that while physical chemistry can ignite the moment, it's the emotional connection that sustains the fire. This isn't about superficial attraction. This is about understanding what she truly needs in that space. What makes her feel special? What makes her feel wanted, not just physically, but emotionally and intellectually? You must be in tune with that. Be aware of the small details, the way you speak to her, the way you make her feel seen, heard, and valued. These things will matter more to her than any move you can pull off. Think of it this way: when you connect emotionally, you're both giving and receiving. There's a shared vulnerability that creates an atmosphere of comfort and security. The kind of atmosphere where both of you can let go, drop your defenses, and just be in the moment. Older women, especially those who embrace Stoicism, have long passed the stage where they need to impress or be impressed by superficial gestures. They want depth. They want someone who is not just physically attractive but emotionally available. It's time to stop treating intimacy like a checklist. Don't just focus on getting through the motions. Instead, focus on the atmosphere you create. Make her feel safe, desired, and most importantly, respected. The Stoic lessons teach us that true connection comes from an understanding of each other's vulnerabilities and strengths. When you learn to connect on that deeper level, not only does the emotional bond strengthen, but the physical pleasure follows naturally. You'll find that when she feels emotionally connected, the experience becomes far more than just physical. It becomes unforgettable. That's the essence of true intimacy. It's not about impressing her with your moves or your perfect technique. It's about impressing her with your presence, your energy, and the way you make her feel. When you embrace the Stoic principles of patience, awareness, and respect, you'll realize that emotional connection is the key that unlocks not just her heart, but also her deepest desires. This is the power of true intimacy. 9. Women often adore their friends more than their partners. You must understand that women, particularly older women, often have emotional needs that differ significantly from the way men approach relationships. It's a powerful truth that should be embraced. One undeniable fact is that women often adore their friends more than their partners. This is not a flaw or a betrayal, but a reflection of emotional fulfillment. If you've ever noticed that your woman lights up more around her best friends than with you, it's not a figment of your imagination. You're seeing a very real dynamic at play. It's not about jealousy or competition, it's about something deeper. Women seek emotional resonance, something you might overlook when your focus is solely on providing and fixing. As men, we often dive into the problem-solving mode, offering solutions to every challenge. But here's the critical insight sometimes. What she needs isn't a solution but simple validation, connection, and energy. Her friends offer this in a way that allows her to feel seen and heard. They provide the back-and-forth exchange that nurtures her emotional world, fulfilling her need for reflection and resonance. In modern relationships, especially in the context of Stoic principles and emotional resilience, understanding this dynamic is key, as Marcus Aurelius taught us. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. You must focus on quality connection, not just the quality of what you can provide. This means instead of constantly offering fixes, focus on emotional resonance. Listen to her, reflect her energy, and validate her feelings without rushing to offer solutions. If you do this, you will find that you can meet her emotional needs in a powerful and fulfilling way. In this age of rapid change and constant distraction, remember that true mastery of relationships comes from understanding and applying these principles. You must stop viewing everything through the lens of solutions and start seeing the value in emotional connection. Let go of the need to always fix her problems, and embrace the idea that sometimes offering nothing but presence and validation is the most powerful thing you can do. So, be aware, be present, and embody the Stoic principles of emotional resilience and understanding. This is your path to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. 10. Some women accept dates just for free food. Let's face it, some women accept dates, not because they're genuinely interested, but simply for the free meal. This might sting a little, but it's a harsh truth that too many men overlook. You're not being played or used. It's just that your approach is off. Women are sharp, and they can sense when you're more focused on impressing them with your wallet than creating a meaningful connection. The modern Stoic doesn't buy affection with dinners or gifts. He knows that value comes from substance, not from the depth of his pockets. Understand this: if you're leading with your money, you're not attracting her. You're buying her time. And let's be honest, buying her time rarely leads to genuine interest or connection. The blessing of Stoicism teaches us to prioritize inner value and authenticity over external displays. Realize that when you show up with the intent to impress, you're not showcasing who you truly are. Instead, you're just offering a quick fix, a temporary escape from boredom or hunger. So stop thinking that your wallet is the solution to everything. The older Stoic knows that charm, humor, and genuine connection are far more valuable than any meal or fancy gesture. That is the secret. Stop using your wallet as a tool to win someone over. Be real, be authentic, and you'll find that the true connection you seek will follow. And that's it for today, brother. If any part of this video spoke to you, even just one moment, then this channel is where you belong. Don't just watch and scroll, subscribe now. Join the mission. This is where men level up with clarity, presence, and power. Here's my advice: be present in your life and relationships. just like the psychological truths we discussed about older women. The wisdom of experience can offer you something valuable at every stage of life. Embrace growth and the journey that comes with it. Whether you're dealing with someone older, younger, or even yourself, your mindset, just like Stoicism, will guide you to a place of inner strength and awareness.